Today, we're going to talk about solitude. This past year, 2025, well, if we're going to be technical, it's not even the new year yet. How cycles work is the new year starts when growth starts. So that would mean the new year would start at the beginning of spring, or right when spring's about to start. So technically, are we in 2025 still? In my head, yes. In society, fine, we're in 2026, whatever. This past year, I spent the most time in solitude and isolation, I think, ever. And I struggled for a long time with learning to be by myself. Not even struggled, okay? Because I have 3 other siblings. I'm the youngest of 4. And for a little bit, I grew up with my older brother whenever my sister would come to visit. But majority of the time, I was having to entertain myself. I was home a lot by myself. So I never really struggled with solitude. But what I mean by that is I would have preferred to have company. So when I got to college, my whole idea about friendship and community and bonds completely changed. I went through fallouts with friends that I thought I was going to be friends with for forever, and relationships, or one relationship, but that made me literally feel like I didn't want to be alone. I didn't know how to be alone. I struggled with the idea of being alone. That was the first time in my life where I was like, I don't want to be in my dorm room by myself. I don't want to be in my apartment by myself. And when I was going through these moments of spiritual growth, I didn't see it as a way to grow. I didn't see it and look at it from a different perspective. I thought, well, what's wrong with me? Why does no one want to be around me? That's how I looked at it at the time. And that led me into depression, anxiety, all these things, until I sought therapy. And when I went to therapy, I was able to open my mind up and see things from a different perspective. Because when you're in negative mind states, you're going through spiritual warfare, basically. So you're not looking at the bigger picture. You're not looking at yourself as a human, as someone who's learning. You're looking at yourself with so much, just putting yourself on a pedestal, I guess you would say, and thinking that everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect. Everybody has to like me. If nobody likes me, then what's wrong with me? But everyone doesn't have to like you. Everyone has their own thing they have going on. And a lot of the times when you get in situations where some people don't want to be around you or some people don't like you, it's just not alignment. You're on a different energy frequency than somebody else. So, solitude. Once I graduated college, that's when I spent a lot more time to myself. Because in college, I went to college at Charleston, so I was very distracted. Trust me, I passed. Don't worry, I got my degree. But I was distracted. Your idea of friends when you're in college is more about, okay, we go out together, we party together, we hang out together. But they were just surface level. Let me just say that. Surface level. Not all of them, but some of them. So when I moved away from college and I was at home, now I'm in a new city. Now I'm around new people. So I'm settled and I'm okay with the idea of not being around a lot of people. So it was easy for me to be in solitude. And then, like I said, this past year, I was completely in isolation. I didn't go out. Anytime someone asked me to go out, for a second, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to go out. But then I was like, hey, I'm going to stay home this time. Thanks, though. Love ya. Hung up the phone. And I stayed to myself and I stayed in my room. And I enjoyed it because I discovered a lot about myself. I found a lot of inner peace, and I wasn't surrounded by people. So I was able to fully discover what it is I liked, what it is I believed in, or what I wanted to learn, what path I wanted to take. I mean, we're still never going to have those answers. It's always going to change because that's just what human evolution is. But I was able to just be authentically myself. And in Chinese zodiac, last year was the year of the snake. So it's all about shedding those old habits, those old behaviors, those old ways of living and being. And it was uncomfortable sometimes because it was like every day I'm learning something new about myself. Every day I'm having to evolve and shape and let go of this attitude and have an ego death over and over again and be uncomfortable with having to be vulnerable, being uncomfortable with apologizing, being uncomfortable with forgiveness. But it felt so good once I did it. Like I feel like I tapped more into myself, more into my inner child when I was just being authentic, because we are energy beings and energy is transferred. So when you're around people that, spiritually don't align with you, you do tend to take on their qualities, their traits. So sometimes it can be a back and forth with your spirit. But when you're in solitude, you don't have any type of influence except what's with you and God, your spirit, and just the energy that is in your environment. Also, being in solitude allowed me to be more creative. It allowed me to tap more into my creativity because I wasn't distracted. Because and I don't want to say hanging out with friends is a distraction, because you should at least at some points be around people, be around a circle, a group of trusted friends, even if it's one or two people. But I'm a Capricorn, okay? I'm always thinking about this business idea, that business idea. Okay, what am I going to do next? How can I evolve? How can I make money? And so I tapped so much into my creativity, and I still am, because also it's a Capricorn year. Ooh, and I tapped a lot more into my intuition. I mean, all of this stuff goes hand in hand. As soon as you isolate, as soon as you give yourself a period of solitude, you trust yourself more, your intuition is stronger, your discernment is stronger, your talks with God are more clear. You get more... You find yourself healing more, accepting more, and not being resistant to the outcome or the unknown. That's something I had to learn a lot, and I'm still learning, just letting go, having this, law of detachment. Literally, you have law of attraction, you have law of detachment, and just letting go of what I want to happen, but also letting go of not knowing what's going to happen. Because when you're in isolation, you literally have nothing but time. You have nothing but present time to spend and be alone and be in your thoughts and not be on your phone and find things to entertain you. Find things that keep you safe, sane, present, creative, in tune. Finding things that keep you in tune. Because a lot of things can get you out of that tune. Like if you're watching maybe too much TV, if you're on your phone all the time, those things can get you out of tune with yourself, out of tune with your spirit, with your body. So, yeah.